Hey guys, Shrapnel here, and today I'm doing a review on the Outdoor Edge Razor Elite, also known as the Outdoor Edge Onyx EDC. I have the, I believe the Razor Elite is the older model, because I'm on Outdoor Edge's website right now, and I only can find it as the Onyx EDC. I don't know what the difference is. I definitely see a difference in pocket clip design, color scheme, but everything else does seem to be the same. So, I paid about, I got this on clearance at Tractor Supply for $12.99, and I'm going to scroll now and see what they, so on their website it is $30, so it's probably right around $20 at most stores or online. But let's move on into the details. So, specifications, because I do believe they are exactly the same. 3.5-inch blade. You have basically a Zytel or a plastic handle with a lockback mechanism. It's kind of in between a mid-lock and a back lock. It's like too far back to be a mid-lock, but too far forward to be a back lock if you I don't know. But yeah, so that's the basic specs. The blades that it uses are the Outdoor Edge razor blades, and they are 420J2, it appears, and the handle is a Grivery polymer, and that basically does it for the specs as far as I'm concerned. So, into the design. So obviously you have the exchangeable blades, but we'll ignore that for a second and go just profile it like a normal knife. So you have a drop point blade with jimping. The jimping is mostly just there to tell you where to put your finger, but it doesn't really offer too much interaction. But if you bear into it, it definitely likes you to push into it and not rest on top. You want to kind of go like this, if that makes any sense. The handle construction, it is, as you can see, it is a, you have a forward finger choil and then a cavity for the rest of your fingers to go. It is swayed and it is swedged in the back, or whatever you want to say it, so it really rests well in the palm. The ergonomics for the lock, it's definitely a two-hand close or a thigh close, or however you want to do it. You have a lanyard hole. The carry on the pocket clip is not the best. I'm going to use my notebook. Yeah, that'll work. And that fell. So, as you can see, it sticks out of the pocket significantly. We'll compare it to my regular pocket knife, which is the Benchmade 940 Osborne, where you can see a bit of a difference. So, there's that. It is a proprietary pocket clip, and it is not reversible. You are stuck with that side, and that is how you better like it. And it is molded into the plastic a little bit, so it goes into a recess, so even if a screw comes loose, it will not sway side to side, but it can move up and down if it does come loose. The thumb stud placement is right at the point where you get in between the two finger grooves, so it's actually quite comfortable to open and really easy. It almost drops free, but I wouldn't trust it, being these are razor blades. Even if they get dull, they are still thin enough they will mess up your fingers if you let it drop. Overall, the action is very smooth and crisp. It does like to be one quick motion, and with a little bit of wrist flick, you can get it to deploy easily. It does take some practice and some good traction on the thumb studs. The thumb studs do appear to be rather small in proportion to the rest of the knife when closed, but when opened, they actually do fit quite nicely. Now, onto the mechanism of the knife. So, you have these exchangeable blades. To exchange them, the knife does need to be open and in the lock position. You depress this silver button here. It does have a groove around it, so it is a deliberate press to pull out the blade. Once you press that button, you grab the blade. The safest place I find is right here by the tip, and then it just slides right out. Then you grab your extra blade and you slide it in. You do not have to depress the button when putting it in, but I suggest you do it. It'll help the mechanism last longer, I believe. Out of the box, you get 3 blades. One installed in the knife already, and then you get 2 auxiliaries. They are individually packed. Let me grab them real quick. Wherever I put them. Hold on, let me move you. I had them over here, but I guess I moved them. So, there they are. Sit you back up. Thought I put them behind my laptop, but I moved them. Help if I was more prepared, right? Oh well. So, you have 2 of them. The lighting on this is atrocious, but I apologize. So, they each come individually packaged in a watertight seal with a blade cover, so they are well protected. So, out of the box, you get 3 blades. These blades are resharpenable, which is very nice. So realistically, this will last you years. Realistically. If you don't hard use this. Which is where we get into my problem with this knife. Is the fact that it is a purpose-built blade. Calling it the EDC is a joke. Plain and simple. It is a razor blade. It is not very thick, and you are dealing with a long piece of thin 420 J2, which is not a very good steel for an everyday carry knife for all intents and purposes. Realistically, you'll be just fine. People run around with truck stop knives and don't care. But if you're watching this video, you obviously care and actually use your knife fairly regularly. So, we'll skip past the steel and right into my primary concern, is the fact that look how thin that tip is. That tip will not survive at all. So, even if you manage to be able to resharpen it and keep it in check, eventually that tip will snap and you will have to move on to another blade. The blades do appear to be fairly inexpensive, but overall, I just don't feel comfortable carrying this as an everyday carry knife. Even with the pocket clip issue, I can live with that. But just with the blade, I do not trust it in terms of longevity. This feels very fragile when it cuts. It cuts fantastic, but I don't expect it to last long. Another thing that I find problematic with the mechanism is the fact that it goes out so far and you have these gaps that material can get into and jam the mechanism and possibly damage it. So there is that. Also, I wish the blades were a touch wider, giving you more material to work with. That way, if you do want to resharpen it, you can resharpen it more. 420 J2, you're going to be sharpening this quite frequently if you choose to do that. Ergonomically, it's fantastic. If this had a normal blade, it'd be fantastic. I'd settle for a 420HC, 440C, HCR13, HCR14. I actually quite like HCR14. If they could do that in this, that'd be fantastic. Or whatever that 4116 crop steel that Cold Steel uses. Whatever they want, just give me something better than 420J2 with razor blades. But I do understand what this is for. This was originally designed to be a hunting knife. So, in that aspect, it is perfect. It's easy to clean. You just take that out, rinse it, and you're good to go. Make sure to dry it thoroughly, though. And with these, you don't have to resharpen them, which is kind of, I believe, the point. You don't have to sharpen this. This is a good knife for people who suck at sharpening or don't want to sharpen. oh, my knife is dull. Throw this away, slap in a new one, you're good to go. So, do I recommend this knife? Yes. To who I recommend it? People who can't sharpen, or people who don't use their knife on a regular basis. In which case, it's perfectly adequate. And also people who don't want to hard use this. I would relegate this to general purpose. Opening packages, opening mail, maybe cutting some cordage, stray thread, stuff like that. I would not use this as a work knife at all. Or, well, it could be the hunting knife, obviously. But I would not recommend this as, like, a replacement for an actual high-quality pocket knife. It doesn't even have to be this Benchmade 940. It could be a bird metal lark. I don't care. Just something more durable than this. So, what will I use this for? This will be relegated with spare blades to my bug out bag. Oh, it's not a bug out bag, it's a get home bag, but that's besides the point. As a backup to my main knife. If I need to, say, make some feather sticks or do something like that, I will grab this first. I want to keep this knife functioning as long as possible. Yes, it's S30V. S30V still goes dull. I'd rather dull out these 3 blades before I dull this. This is, at the end of the day, a backup knife or a gift. That's the way I see it. For me. I beat the snot out of my knives. I realistically should carry a fixed blade on me at all times, but I don't want to. I want to carry a pocket knife. So, that is my choice. That's just how I feel about this knife. Let me know what you think about it, and if you want to get one, these are pretty much available everywhere. I found this at Tractor Supply. You'll find these at most places that sell hunting equipment. So, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let me know if you have one, or if you don't like it, let me know why. So, again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.